Right then, what I'm going to do is take on a little journey of this cursed Grey 205. I'll say cursed because we've had more than a few issues. Sorry, I'm walking in a minute, out of breath. Needs to get fit really. It's June, for God's sake. Needs a beach body. Anyway, so basically the car's a little bit cursed. Having a few issues, which let's take it down to a diesel specialist, which is City Diesels in Plymouth, and get them to have a little look at it because the idling's been really erratic and it's been smoking out the back. You might have seen in the previous video of that, and I'm just trying to sort that out. And it seems we're chasing gremlins around the system here, trying to find what the hell's wrong with it. But anyway, so went in for a clutch cable replacement, which is £120. When it came back, had this new engine issue, so we had that to contend with. Don't think it had anything to do with the clutch cable replacement, because obviously that'd be mental. But yeah, it's proven to be a bit of a nightmare. And so basically today's the first day where we'll do a proper start-up of it. When I got it back yesterday from the City Diesel place, he was behaving himself, but he had a quite stuttery moment where he was hunting on idle, which isn't good. But what we'll do is start him up now because he's been sat for 24 hours, and see whether it's going to work. Whether he's going to fire up into life and do what he should do. So let's switch cameras, shall we? Okay, you see it's got a nice little tag on it where it's been repaired. There we go, central locking stopped working. I think I showed you that in the last video. It should have central locking, doesn't work. Right, so we're going to sit in the car. Hopefully the car's going to work now. So let's get inside. Take it out of gear. Cables out of the bloody stiff. Right, he's out of gear. Like I said, he's been left for almost 24 hours. First thing I'm going to do is turn the ignition on and bloody put a window down. It's boiling. Like I said, summer June day. Right, glow plug light's gone out. Okay. Alright, that's not bad. It's not what I was expecting. I was expecting it to still be flooding the injectors, but it's not. So what we're going to do is we're going to drive this back. One thing that's a bit of a side effect with this is when I'm driving it, I'm in second gear, he seems to be over boosting ever so slightly, which is a bit odd. The welding done. The welder tried to take the bumper off, which is a schoolboy error, because they shear the bolts away. Let's move some of this wheat. Look at this. So much wheat that's around the car here. Put this window down as well. But yeah, okay, we seem to be idling nicely. No white smoke. It's not hunting around. Okay, so that seems relatively successful. So maybe not such a cursed build after all. Maybe we can pursue getting everything done with this car and getting it tidy. It needs paintwork. Look at that bonnet, look. Christ, all the paint grazing on it. Needs the bumpers re-blacked, and the roof needs a bit of a spray as well. Even though I did take a bit of sandpaper to the roof to get rid of like those lacquer flakes and stuff. That's made a bit of a difference. But yeah, it's an untidy car, it needs some work. But we'll get on that, and that's a future video. So for now, the car is running again. I don't know whether anyone can help me with this though. So the power steering pump, I'll get to it now, is it? So turn the car on all lock. Hear that? Like squeaky squeak squeak squeaks. Anyone know how to fix that? If you could put a comment, that would be much appreciated. It's had the top belt replaced, but I think it's got another auxiliary belt on these, which I can't get to. I don't know whether that belt's causing the issue or whether the pump needs lubrication or something, but give me a shout if you do know how to fix that. That'd be absolutely great. So basically, to put this all in summary, this is all the paperwork so far that I've sort of curated since I've owned this car. And there's a whole lot of it. So yeah, if we go through sort of like everything. So back in November of 2022, I bought under seal, rust remover liquid solution, timing belt for it, a water pump, and hard as nails adhesive. This was going to be back in the day when I was going to just fill in all the rust holes and just cover them when I was going to sell this car, but when my plans changed I decided to keep it. A lot of this I undid, obviously apart from the timing belt and water pump, but yeah, the hard as nails adhesive and the rust remover solution I didn't need in the end because we reversed all that. And then sort of moving forward, sort of 11th of November, I bought a front number plate for it, which was fitted in the first lot of work that was done to it. And what we've got here, so this is the 26th of November. We bought an air filter for it, an oil filter, and a microfiber demister, which never showed up actually. I had to claim that back from eBay. It's quite irritating. And 18th of December, we've got what we've got here. So glow plugs and a V-belt, which I think was for the either alternator or the power steering, one of the two. Yeah, so all the costs are really racking up, aren't they? We bought a turbo diesel clutch, because originally I was going to have the engine converted, wasn't I? So I was going to have a clutch fitted at the same time, but we decided against that in the end. So I've got this clutch just spare now. Obviously, if the clutch ever goes, I've got that, haven't I? This one here is an air filter that was fitted to the car, and you know, it's all the service bits and pieces it needed from where it's been sat for a little while. What I've done is I've actually made some invoices as well for various work that I've done, sort of like cash in hand. So this is welding work to the rear of the body shell leading to the under of the tank. That was what it failed the MOT on back last year. So that was welded and taken care of, and that was 100 quid that cost me there. Then what else have we got? So we've got a starter motor. Needed a new one of those because I've had plenty of turbo diesels that have stranded me in the past with dodgy start motors. I didn't want this to happen again. Another V-belt, that's either again the alternator or the power steering one of the two. But yeah, it's something that needed doing really. And sort of looking at what else we've got here. Christ, we've got loads of it, haven't we? Absolutely loads of it. I suppose we're going to move to the set of wheels that I bought for £100. Wheels and tyres. Remember in a previous video that I said that I needed to get wheels and tyres, and I was having a hard time trying to get them. And I managed to get them from RPB Solutions in the end, which is down in Plymouth, and they're really good service for that. Those tyres are actually still really good as well, so they're lasting well. Then fast forward to sort of April of this year, when I decided I was going to keep the car. So I got a D-Turbo badge, sort of a resin type domed one. So off a 306, so it's D-Turbo S, but it kind of fits the gap on the louvered panel which I bought, which should be also on this as well. Passenger offside indicator in orange, I paid a £5 for that. And I had the other side one up in the attic, which I had on eBay originally, and I took it off, so I decided to go down the route of orange indicators instead. There's the louvered panel that I bought, and some matte gloss metal paint in silver. Oh yeah, that was for the GTI rear and front valances that I decided to fit on the car. There was an episode on that as well. Where are we now? So moving into May, I had loads of work done in May, absolutely loads. Right, again, this is a homemade receipt that I've made. So this was for the timing belt and pump, this fitting the starter motor, fitting the heater matrix that I bought, which I haven't got a receipt for some reason. Fitting the glow plugs, fitting an alternator belt, an air filter, an oil filter, and replacing obviously all the fluids. And that was 270 quid for that, which I thought was pretty darn reasonable. We did have we used to get a coolant temperature light sensor sorted because the light's on at the minute, and need to really get that sorted out. So 20th of May, another homemade invoice here. Welding to the rear bump stop areas ×2, so that's the back of the car. The boot floor corner, if you might have noticed in the very first video I made of this car, it was rotten and needed doing, and I just bodged it before, so undid all that and got it done. And then the turret top on the side. Also, it doesn't actually say that I had the above the rear door done as well. At the same time, which I think you might have noticed in a previous video, that was rotten. That was all done in this as well, and that was 200 quid for cash. So I thought it was a really good price for that. Which, oh no, it's actually here. That's it, yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's the one. So that's the actual receipt there. And this one here is getting more parts, so windscreen washer motor pump, which actually doesn't fit a 205, or at least if it does, you've got to redo the pinouts on it. Bumper fixing kit, because when I had the welding done, they tried to take the wing off, as I said, and sheared the bolts, so I've got to have new bolts put in there, and Velcro to hold the driving lights up for a minute, which I have a feeling I'm just going to take the brackets off and realign those driving lights. On the 2nd of June, had the clutch cable done, so that's the receipt for that, £120. And then this is the most recent one from City Auto Diesel, which was our issue that we're having with the problem with the car just starting up and then kicking out all the smoke, and this is what they found. So examine the vehicle for bad starting, cold and erratic lumpy, carry out checks of the vehicle and found excessive amounts of air being drawn into the fuel system, found the primer fitted after the filter, repipe system fitting primer before the filter, check and reset contacts on cold idle advance, check cam box valve, bleed system, recheck fuel supply, start and road test, restart on cold, and found satisfactory. So just a couple of bits and pieces that needed doing, and 120 quid worth of labour there for a final bill of 157.68. And this seems to have sorted out the issue now. So this concludes this episode now, and this saga that was going on with this. I'm looking through the receipts here, and I'm missing a fair few, because the car initially cost me 300 quid, which I think I was a bargain for a turbo diesel, albeit a 5-door one. But then obviously the 100 quid to recover it takes us to £400. And I think once various bits and pieces were done to the car, to get it in MOT-able state, ended up costing, all said and done, including the price of the car, I think 900 odd quid. Keep in mind that that's before a lot of this has been done now, so God knows where we are with this car. It's probably closer to about £2,000. It's a lot for a 205 in general, let alone just a base model Mardi Gras 5-door. But I'm kind of one of these, I don't like giving up on a car, and I feel that I've come this far. It would be silly for me to just walk away. The whole rear brake system was rebuilt, and it's had all the time belt and all that done, and all the service items. So fundamentally there's a decent car there, all the welding sorted. So now it's just going to be a case of getting the paint sorted out, which I'm hoping to have a little look at tomorrow. I might try and spray the bonnet up and do a video on that. So you're probably thinking I'm absolutely nuts for sticking with this car, but it is what it is. You're either going to go big or go home, and I don't really want to write off everything I've done, sell the car off for bloody what I paid for it, even though I've put so much money into it. So yeah, it keeps another one on the road, doesn't it? That's the main thing. Right, I'll catch you in another episode. See you later.